Welcome back, collectors. In today's video, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and secretly valuable wartime treasures in American coin history. The top 5 most valuable and most expensive Jefferson Nickel old coins. This isn't just any 5-cent piece. It's a coin born from World War II, packed with silver, loaded with history, and exploding in demand among serious collectors. If you've ever wondered how a simple nickel could become a high-value collectible with rare varieties worth hundreds, even thousands, you're in the right place. Get ready, because the story behind this ultra-rare wartime coin is far more incredible than most people ever realize. Let's get started. First up in the 1943, P. Jefferson Nickel, often referred to as a wartime nickel, holds a special place in U.S. numismatics due to its distinctive silver-based composition, unique historical role, and strong modern collector demand. Although millions were minted for wartime circulation, only a tiny fraction survive today in pristine condition, making high-grade examples especially coveted. What elevates this coin's appeal is the combination of its metal value, wartime significance, and the presence of collectible varieties that can dramatically increase its market worth. Among Jefferson Nickels, the 1943 P stands out as an essential piece for serious collectors pursuing a complete series or those interested in historically significant American coinage. The 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel was produced during World War II, a period when nickel was urgently needed for military manufacturing, especially for armor and artillery. As a result, the U.S. Mint temporarily changed the composition of the 5-cent coin. From mid-1942 through 1945, nickels were minted using a unique alloy of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese, giving these coins both historical significance and intrinsic value. The 1943 P issue was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which played a major role in wartime production. Notably, this was one of the first widespread U.S. coins to prominently display a mint mark on the reverse above Monticello, an important design shift that makes identifying wartime nickels easier today. The 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel features the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, designed by Felix Schlag, emphasizing clean lines, classical inspiration, and patriotic symbolism. On the reverse, Schlag's depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's home, appears with a bold P mint mark positioned above the dome. The wartime alloy gives the coin a slightly different color and luster compared to traditional nickels, often displaying a lighter, more silver-toned surface. The coin weighs 5 grams, measures 21.2 millimeters, and has no edge reading. In higher grades, collectors especially appreciate the sharpness of Jefferson's jawline, hair detail, and the crisp steps of Monticello, which can qualify for the highly sought-after full steps FS designation. Although the mintage of the 1943 P nickel exceeded 271 million, finding examples in superb gem condition, MS66, MS67 or higher, is notably difficult due to heavy wartime circulation and metal softness. Coins with full steps are considerably rarer and can command dramatic premiums. Additionally, the 1943 P series contains several important die varieties, including doubled dies and repunched mint marks, which attract strong collector interest. Well-preserved examples free of blemishes, spotting, or where are scarce, an eye appeal plays a critical role in establishing market value. As with many wartime nickels, storage conditions and long-term environmental exposure significantly affected survival quality. The value of a 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel varies widely based on condition, rarity, and special designations. A typical circulated example may sell for $2 to $5, largely due to its silver content. However, coins graded MS65 often range from $40 to $80, while high-end pieces in MS66 can reach $120 to $250. The rarest and most desirable examples. MS67 certified coins, especially those with the full steps designation, have sold for several $1,000s at major auctions. Exceptional specimens with dramatic die varieties or superb eye appeal can also push into the upper market tier. Overall, steady collector interest and limited high-grade supply keep the 1943 P consistently strong in the marketplace. Collectors seeking a top-quality 1943 P nickel should pay special attention to luster, strike strength, and preservation. Look closely at the steps of Monticello, which determine whether the coin qualifies as FS, one of the most significant value-boosting features. Because counterfeits and altered coins exist, especially for full steps or high-grade examples, purchasing pieces certified by leading grading services such as PCGS or NGC is strongly recommended. Proper storage in climate-controlled holders or archival-safe flips will help prevent spotting or toning caused by the coin's sensitive silver-manganese alloy. Auctions, reputable dealers, and established numismatic communities remain the best avenues for acquiring superior examples. The 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel goes far beyond its face value. For history enthusiasts, it represents a fascinating snapshot of wartime America. For design admirers, it offers the elegance of Felix Schlag's artistry. And for serious collectors, it presents an opportunity to own a coin that becomes exponentially rarer in high grade. Its affordability at entry levels also makes it accessible for new collectors, while the upper-level rarities, FS specimens, doubled dies, and MS-67 gems, provide exciting challenges for advanced numismatists seeking high-value pieces with long-term appreciation potential. The 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel presents an intriguing combination of stability and growth potential. While it is not an ultra-rare coin in general circulation grades, the scarcity of premium gem examples has helped maintain its upward trajectory in auction markets. Coins with strong luster, clean surfaces, and full steps designations have consistently appreciated over the past decade, reflecting a broader trend toward high-grade modern and mid-20th century U.S. coinage. Additionally, as collectors deepen their interest in wartime coinage and the Jefferson series gains renewed attention, competition for the finest known specimens has intensified. This slow but steady rise in demand positions the 1943 P. Nickel as a reliable long-term asset, especially for those who focus on certified, investment-grade material with exceptional visual appeal. The 1943 P. Nickel plays a pivotal role in anchoring the wartime segment of the Jefferson series, bridging the transition between traditional nickel alloys and the temporary silver-based compositions. For collectors building complete date and mint mark sets, the wartime years, 1942 to 1945, stand out as some of the most fascinating entries due to their unusual metal content and distinctive reverse mint marks. The 1943 P in particular is often used as a benchmark coin for evaluating the quality of wartime strikes, making high-grade examples a standard reference point for grading comparisons. As interest in full-step Jefferson nickels continues to grow, the 1943 P has emerged as one of the cornerstone dates that defines the technical difficulty and artistic complexity of the entire series. The 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel carries significant cultural meaning that resonates with historians, educators, and enthusiasts of American heritage. It stands as a physical reminder of the sacrifices and adaptations the United States made during World War II, when even the nation's coinage shifted to support the war effort. For museums, classrooms, and historical exhibits, this coin provides a tangible connection to the 1940s, helping audiences understand how ordinary objects became part of a much larger national mission. Its silver alloy composition makes it an excellent teaching tool for discussing resource allocation, mint policy changes, and the role of economics during wartime. In this way, the 1943 P. Nickel transcends traditional numismatics and becomes a miniature artifact of American perseverance, innovation, and unity. The 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel stands as one of the most historically significant and collectible issues within the entire Jefferson series. Its wartime origin, distinctive alloy, artistic design, and diverse range of collectible varieties make it a favorite across the numismatic community. While common in circulated grades, the true value emerges in the upper tiers of preservation, where rarity and demand converge to create substantial market worth. Whether collected for its beauty, its history, or its investment potential, the 1943 P remains a compelling addition to any U.S. coin collection and continues to gain appreciation as collectors recognize the importance of high-grade wartime issues. Next up in the 1945, P. Jefferson Nickel occupies a unique and elevated place in U.S. numismatics. Though on its face a humble 5-cent coin, its wartime silver composition, historical context, and surviving high-grade examples make it a highly sought-after piece among collectors. What might have been ordinary pocket change in the 1940s is now admired as a tangible relic of wartime America, and in rare cases, commands a surprisingly high market value. That dual identity, Everyday currency turned collectible treasure, fuels strong demand among both general and specialist coin collectors. Because the 1945 P coin marks the end of a short but historically significant silver wartime period, it carries both aesthetic appeal and a connection to a major global event, the final year of World War II. For many collectors, owning a well-preserved example represents a small but meaningful piece of that history. From 1942 through 1945, the United States, embroiled in World War II, faced a shortage of nickel, a metal critical for war production, e.g. armor plating and munitions. As a result, the U.S. Mint temporarily replaced the standard copper-nickel alloy used in the regular 5-cent pieces with a wartime composition of copper, silver, and manganese. Specifically, the wartime Jefferson Nickels, 1942 to 1945, contained 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. The 1945 P issue, minted at the United States Mint facility in Philadelphia, is especially significant because 1945 was the final year the Mint produced silver nickels. The context of its production, as wartime resource conservation wound down, imparts a sense of historical closure. For many collectors, it is not just a coin, but a symbolic artifact marking the end of a challenging era. In the broader series of the Jefferson Nickel, first minted in 1938, the wartime nickels stand out as the only ones containing silver, making them a distinct subtype that reflects U.S. economic and material history under wartime strain. The 1945 P. Jefferson Nickel retains the classic design elements of the Jefferson series, while embedding wartime uniqueness. The obverse bears the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, as designed by engraver Felix Schlag, and the reverse shows the building of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, with a large P mint mark placed conspicuously above the dome of Monticello, an identifying trait of wartime nickels. The 1,945 nickel weighs 5.00 grams, has a diameter of approximately 21.2 millimeters, and a plain edge. Because of its silver content, 35%. Each coin contains about 0.0563 troy ounces, is almost equal to 1.75 g of silver. What makes certain 1945 P nickels especially prized are technical and aesthetic attributes visible under close inspection. Full steps, FS on well-struck coins, the horizontal lines of all 6 steps leading up to the Monticello building are fully and sharply defined. Wartime silver nickels often suffered from weak strikes, making crisp full steps rare. The alloy and silver content sometimes produce attractive toning or a soft, silvery luster, particularly on uncirculated specimens. Such surfaces can dramatically raise collector interest, given the historical silver content. In high-grade examples, these features combine to make the coin far more visually appealing than a typical worn circulated nickel, giving it both historical charm and aesthetic quality. The scarcity grows more pronounced when you narrow consideration to coins with strong strikes and desirable features, e.g. full steps. According to one reference, 1945, P nickels are generally common in circulated grades and even uncirculated grades up to about MS60, but become scarce fast, starting around MS66 with full steps. Indeed, sources suggest there are only a handful of 1945 P coins graded MS67, and fewer with the full steps feature intact. Condition matters enormously. As with most collectible coins, where erodes detail. Given the wartime composition and sometimes poor striking, many surviving examples have weak detail, especially in the reverse, where the fine steps detail is often the first to suffer. Thus only a minority of 1945 P nickels remain that combine high-grade plus sharp strikes plus well-preserved surfaces. Because of that combination of factors, large original population, heavy usage, striking difficulties, and attrition over decades, truly high-grade, well-struck 1945 P nickels are rare enough to draw strong collector demand. The market value of a 1945 P Jefferson nickel varies widely depending on condition, strike quality, and variety. Among standard strikes, non-error, non-special variety, typical circulated coins, the ones most commonly encountered, generally trade around their silver melt value, often just a few dollars. Crucially, coins that feature the coveted full steps, especially with excellent strike quality, or error/variety characteristics, e.g. double die reverse, can fetch dramatically higher prices. Some data, though varying across sources, report that high-grade full steps examples have sold for hundreds or even low thousands of dollars in certain circumstances. For example, one source lists a 1945 PDDR-FS 801, a double-die reverse with full steps, in MS 66 grade at a realized auction price many times higher than a standard specimen. However, sources differ on how common such sales are, and prices for top-end coins are often volatile, heavily dependent on collector interest, provenance, and certification. That said, many standard 1945 P nickels remain quite affordable, making them a reasonable entry point for someone looking to collect wartime U.S. silver coinage, while the high-end, rare collector-grade examples are valued much more strongly. Check for the large P mint mark above Monticello. This instantly identifies the coin as a wartime silver issue, 1942 to 1945, rather than a later copper-nickel strike. Focus on strike quality and full steps. A well-struck reverse with all steps clearly defined is rare and significantly more valuable than weakly struck or partially defined examples. 1945 P. Jefferson Nickel also holds a uniquely emotional significance for many collectors. Coins minted during wartime often embody a sense of national resilience, sacrifice, and unity, and this nickel is no exception. Because it was struck at a time when the nation was redirecting critical resources for global conflict, it carries with it the story of the everyday American whose pocket change was affected by world events. Holding a high-grade example of this coin is, for many enthusiasts, akin to holding a frozen moment of American perseverance. This deeper emotional connection elevates the 1945 P nickel beyond its monetary value, transforming it into a quiet yet powerful artifact of national identity that resonates with collectors across generations. The coin's long-term investment potential is another dimension that continues to boost its desirability. While common circulated examples may remain accessible, the finest known survivors, particularly full steps coins, have shown steady appreciation over time. As grading standards tighten and collectors increasingly seek premium-tier coins, the relative scarcity of high-grade 1945 P nickels becomes more pronounced, driving up value for the very top examples. Moreover, error and variety enthusiasts have intensified demand for double-die reverses and other notable anomalies within this year. Combined with the fact that the wartime silver-nickel subset enjoys consistent demand from type collectors, specialists, and investors, the long-term trajectory for premium examples remains strong. Even moderately high-grade coins can benefit from this increased market visibility, as collectors fill gaps in their wartime series sets or seek historically meaningful pieces with long-term stability. What distinguishes the 1945 P. Jefferson Nickel from more ordinary 5-cent pieces is not merely its age or silver content, but the complete convergence of history, scarcity, and collector fascination. It stands at the crossroads of America's wartime industrial effort, the evolution of modern numismatics, and the enduring charm of the Jefferson series. This makes it a cornerstone coin, one that bridges the gap between casual collecting and serious numismatic study. Whether a collector acquires it for its symbolic wartime legacy, its artistic design, its rarity in top grades, or its promising investment potential, the 1945 P nickel continually proves its place as one of the most compelling and historically rich issues of the entire Jefferson Nickel series. It is a coin that rewards deeper study, inspires appreciation, and has earned its respected place in the market for generations to come. The 1945 P. Jefferson Nickel is more than just a 5-cent coin. It is a tangible relic of a pivotal moment in history, the twilight of World War II and the close of America's silver-nickel wartime coinage. While the vast majority of the 119 million-plus coins minted remain ordinary, worn examples worth little more than melt value, the few survivors that escaped where, especially those with sharp strikes, full steps detail, or rare varieties/errors, are prized by collectors. Next up to in the ultra-desirable 1944 P. Jefferson War Nickel. While millions were struck during World War II, only a small fraction survive today in truly exceptional condition, and the highest grade examples have risen to become some of the most valuable Jefferson nickels in existence. Numismatists prize this coin not only for its wartime composition and patriotic backstory, but also for the surprising premium elite specimens can reach on the modern market. Its unmistakable P mint mark above Monticello, its unique silver alloy, and its place within a pivotal historical moment give the 1944 P nickel a magnetic appeal, especially when superb strikes or rare die varieties surface. As demand for gem-quality wartime nickels has surged in recent years, the 1944 P has emerged as one of the standout treasures of the series. The 1944 P Jefferson Nickel belongs to a special wartime subset struck from 1942 to 1945, created in response to the U.S. military's urgent need for nickel metal. To conserve nickel for armor plating and weaponry, the U.S. Mint replaced the standard alloy with a 35% silver composition, an unprecedented decision that temporarily transformed the 5-cent piece into a semi-silver coin. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the 1944 P issue played a practical yet symbolic role in supporting the national war effort, with its large mint mark positioned above Monticello serving as a quick visual cue for withdrawing the silver alloy coins after the conflict. Today, this wartime origin adds deep historical value, connecting collectors to the economic pressures, military demands, and patriotic manufacturing adjustments that defined America's World War II experience. At the 1944 P nickel retains all the classic artistry of Felix Schlag's Jefferson design, yet its wartime metal mixture gives it a subtly different sheen compared to regular nickel alloy coins. On the obverse, Jefferson's left-facing portrait displays crisp depth in high-grade examples, with the finest specimens showing full hair detail and bold lettering. The reverse features the iconic Monticello, but the placement of the enlarged P mint mark directly above the dome immediately distinguishes this wartime issue from all pre-1942 and post-1945 nickels. The coin weighs about 5 grams and has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, but what truly elevates it are the sharp strikes, clean steps, and frosty luster seen only in top-grade pieces. Collectors particularly value examples with full 5 full steps, FS or 5FS/6FS, where the precision of Monticello's staircase is fully preserved, an attribute rarely found due to wartime die conditions. Although the mintage of the 1944 P exceeded 100 million, condition scarcity transforms this coin into a numismatic gem. Wartime planchets and dies were often inconsistent, leading to soft strikes, weak details, and surface impurities. As a result, high-end uncirculated examples, especially those achieving MS67, MS67 Plus, or MS68 from PCGS or NGC, are dramatically rarer than their population totals suggest. The greatest scarcity lies in the full steps designation, as die erosion and strike pressure during wartime production made fully defined steps exceptionally unusual. While circulated pieces remain plentiful and inexpensive, true gem specimens with brilliant luster, minimal contact marks, and complete steps are among the rarest and most fiercely contested Jefferson nickels of the era. The value of the 1944 P Jefferson nickel varies dramatically by condition, but the highest grade survivors have achieved impressive, well-documented auction results. Common circulated examples may bring only a few dollars due to their silver content, but certified mint state coins quickly ascend in value. Typical MS65 pieces range from $40 to $75, while MS66 examples often fall between $80 and $150. The price climbs sharply for MS67, which may sell for $250 to $450 depending on eye appeal. The rarest elite specimens, MS67 Plus and MS68 coins with full steps, have reached 4-figure and occasionally low 5-figure valuations, with standout examples fetching $5,000 to over $15,000 at major auctions. While not all examples command such premiums, the combination of wartime history, condition scarcity, and registry set competition drives consistent appreciation in top-end values. Collectors pursuing the 1944 P Jefferson Nickel should prioritize certification by reputable grading services such as PCGS or NGC, as authentication and grade accuracy directly impact value. When evaluating raw coins, pay close attention to strike sharpness, luster, and the condition of Monticello's steps. Strong step definition dramatically enhances desirability. Search for coins free of dark spotting or planchet impurities, which are common on wartime silver alloy nickels. Because the market for high-grade examples is competitive, collectors often rely on major auction houses, trustworthy online dealers, or established numismatic networks to secure premium pieces. Proper storage is essential. Keep the coin in inert airtight holders away from humidity to avoid toning or deterioration. With patience and careful study, collectors can identify strong long-term investment pieces within this wartime series. What makes the 1944 P nickel so captivating to modern collectors is its combination of emotional history and tangible rarity. As a wartime product, it embodies a moment when the everyday American coin became part of a national sacrifice, blending utility with symbolism. For registry set collectors, it offers a high-stakes challenge, as the hunt for pristine MS-67, MS-68 full steps examples is both thrilling and demanding. For investors, the steady rise of high-grade wartime nickels reflects broader market confidence in historically significant mid-century U.S. silver issues. Its distinctive mint mark and uncommon alloy make it instantly recognizable, while top-tier specimens boast visual brilliance that rivals far more expensive coinage. The 1944 P. Jefferson Nickel stands out as one of the most meaningful and premium pieces of the wartime silver-nickel era. It merges compelling history with artistic detail and offers both new and seasoned collectors an attainable yet deeply rewarding challenge. From its powerful connection to the World War II home front to the extraordinary value of its highest-grade survivors, the coin represents the finest intersection of heritage, aesthetics, and investment potential in the Jefferson Nickel series. As interest in wartime numismatics continues to strengthen, the 1944 P nickel remains a timeless collectible, one that embodies patriotism, craftsmanship, and enduring market appeal. The standard 1944 P wartime nickel. Advanced specialists know that certain die varieties add an extra layer of rarity and intrigue to this issue. Subtle die breaks, repunched mint marks, RPMs, and die abrasion lines can appear on a small minority of coins struck during this period, each a product of the pressures placed on U.S. mint equipment during the war. Some notable varieties include repunched mint mark examples, P/P, or coins exhibiting die clashes where Jefferson's profile faintly transfers to the reverse fields. Though not as common as similar varieties in earlier years, these anomalies fascinate die-state collectors and routinely command premiums when paired with high-grade surfaces. When a variety is found in MS-66 or MS-67 condition, its rarity multiplies dramatically, often resulting in values far exceeding those of normal high-grade coins due to the near-impossible combination of pristine surfaces and die-state uniqueness. The investment outlook for high-grade 1944 P nickels remains consistently strong, supported by three major pillars: historical significance, growing registry competition, and the diminishing population of top-tier survivors. As more collectors submit coins to grading services, the census data becomes increasingly transparent, revealing just how few truly superlative examples exist. Coins that once appeared common are now understood to be extremely rare at the uppermost grades, especially with full steps. This new awareness has driven sustained appreciation over the past decade. Even during broader market fluctuations, wartime nickels, particularly those with silver content, show resilience due to their cross-category appeal. They attract both bullion buyers and traditional numismatists. Because the finest examples are unlikely ever to reappear in large numbers, collectors who secure one of these elite specimens often see long-term stability and steady upward valuation, making the 1944 P nickel a reliable, historically anchored investment within the Jefferson series. The 1944 P Jefferson Nickel holds a distinctive place in educational and cultural settings, often serving as an accessible entry point for new collectors. Teachers, historians, and museum curators regularly use wartime nickels to illustrate America's industrial transformation during World War II, reminding students that even everyday coins tell stories of national sacrifice and resourcefulness. The coin also occupies a special role in family collections and beginner sets, introducing future numismatists to the concepts of mint marks, alloy changes, grading, and die varieties. Next up in the 1936, D Buffalo nickel stands as one of the most admired and desirable issues in the final decade of America's iconic Buffalo nickel series. For collectors, this Denver-minted coin represents a perfect blend of artistry, scarcity, and historical relevance, making it an essential treasure for any serious numismatic collection. Its rugged frontier imagery and low survival rate in higher grades have elevated it to elite status in the market. Today, high-grade examples of the 1936 D, especially those with strong strikes and preserved luster, command impressive prices, and draw intense competition among bidders. Whether viewed for its design, rarity, or investment appeal, the 1936 D Buffalo Nickel is a cornerstone coin that continues to rise in demand year after year. Minted during the mid-1930s, the 1936 D Buffalo Nickel belongs to a period when the United States was working its way out of the Great Depression. Coinage production was increasing again as economic activity slowly strengthened, and the Denver Mint played an important role in supplying coins for circulation in the western United States. The Buffalo Nickel series, originally introduced in 1913, was designed by sculptor James Earl Fraser to honor America's indigenous heritage and the frontier spirit. By 1936, however, the coin was in its final years before being replaced by the Jefferson Nickel in 1938. The 1936 D issue, one of the last from the Denver Mint for the series, captures this transition moment in U.S. coinage history. Although it does not commemorate a specific event, its production symbolizes the closing chapter of one of the most beloved designs in American numismatics. The design of the 1936 D Buffalo Nickel is among the most iconic in American coinage. The obverse features a composite portrait of 3 Native American chiefs, rendered with powerful detail, deep cheek contours, braided hair, feather, and expressive facial lines. The reverse presents the majestic American bison, often believed to be modeled after Black Diamond, a bison from the Central Park Zoo. The coin is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and a weight of 5 grams. The small D Mint mark, placed beneath the words 5 cents on the reverse, identifies it as a Denver Mint issue. Well-preserved examples display bold texture on the bison's fur, sharp lettering, and rich, natural mint luster, qualities that dramatically enhance eye appeal and collector interest. Although the mintage of the 1936 D Buffalo Nickel was reasonably high, over 24 million pieces, its rarity emerges in the survival of coins in mint state condition. Buffalo nickels are widely known for weak strikes, rapid wear in circulation, and frequent imperfections on the bison's hip and head. As a result, true high-quality specimens graded MS65 or better by PCGS or NGC are extremely difficult to find. Coins with fully struck details, minimal abrasions, and uniform mint luster are considered elite collectibles. Additionally, minor varieties such as D/D RPM, repunched mint mark, examples add to the appeal and scarcity of the 1936 D in top grades, often commanding significantly higher premiums. The value of a 1936 D Buffalo Nickel varies widely depending on grade, strike, and eye appeal. Well-worn circulated examples generally sell for $2 to $15, reflecting their common availability in lower conditions. However, values climb sharply in higher grades. 50 to 58 Australian dollars examples often range from $50 to $150, while true mint state pieces begin around $175 to $300. In MS64, prices typically rise to $400 to $600, and in MS65, the coin can command $1,200 to $2,500 depending on strike quality. The most impressive values are found in MS66 and above, where premiums are strong. Auction results have reached $6,000 to $12,000 for superb examples with exceptional luster and sharp detail. Rare die varieties or repunched mint marks can push values even higher when offered at major numismatic auctions. For collectors seeking to add a 1936 D Buffalo Nickel to their portfolio, careful examination is essential. Look for strong bison details, especially on the shoulder and hip, and check for sharp obverse features such as hair strands and feather definition. Authentication and third-party certification by PCGS or NGC is recommended for high-grade or high-value pieces, ensuring that the coin is genuine and properly graded. Storage in airtight holders or graded slabs protects the nickel's delicate surfaces from oxidation and handling damage. Collectors often prefer coins with natural toning and original luster, as these traits add to both beauty and long-term value. Reputable coin dealers, major auctions, and established numismatic circles are the safest avenues for acquiring premium examples that the 1936 D Buffalo Nickel contains several subtle die varieties that appeal strongly to advanced collectors. Among the most notable are repunched mint mark, RPM, varieties, where the Denver mint mark was stamped more than once, leaving traces of doubling visible under magnification. These varieties can show the second D slightly north, south, or west of the primary punch, and superb examples with bold RPM clarity can bring significant added premiums. Some dies also show light die cracks or polishing marks, features that are not considered errors but rather fascinating evidence of the minting process. When these unique die traits appear on high-grade coins with a strong strike, they can elevate the piece into a far more desirable tier among specialists, sometimes increasing values by several $100s or more depending on rarity and sharpness. Collectors of Buffalo nickels understand that strike quality is everything, and this is particularly true for the 1936 D. Even in mint state, many examples show weak detail on the bison's head, horn, and midsection, or flatness on the Native American's cheekbone and braids. Because true full strikes are rare, coins that display crisp definition and complete horn detail are considered premium specimens and consistently achieve higher grades. Eye appeal is another critical factor. Original luster, uniform surfaces, and natural toning can elevate a coin's desirability dramatically. Coins with golden, amber, or soft blue toning, without streaks or dark spots, frequently attract strong auction activity. When collectors encounter a 1936 D that manages both a superior strike and attractive coloration, it becomes an exceptional showpiece that can outperform typical market values by a wide margin. The 1936 D Buffalo nickel continues to demonstrate steady long-term growth, particularly for coins graded MS64 and above. As the population of high-grade survivors remains fixed and demand continues to grow, prices for premium examples have shown consistent appreciation across multiple decades. The Buffalo nickel series as a whole enjoys one of the strongest collector followings in American numismatics, ensuring a stable base of demand for key issues like the 1936 D. Investors often view these coins as reliable stores of numismatic value, objects with both historical significance and tangible scarcity. As certified populations remain relatively small and examples with eye-catching toning continue to become more sought after, leading market analysts expect the 1936 D in top condition to remain a robust performer in the collectible coin market. The 1936 D Buffalo nickel stands as a highly respected representative of classic American coin design and craftsmanship. It is a favorite feature in advanced Buffalo nickel registry sets, educational displays, and museum collections highlighting early 20th century coinage. Modern collectors often pursue it as a centerpiece coin, one that embodies the artistry of James Earl Fraser and the rugged aesthetic of America's Western heritage. Displaying a beautifully preserved 1936 D, whether in a premium slab or a curated presentation case, allows collectors to showcase a piece of American monetary history with remarkable visual presence. As interest in vintage U.S. coinage grows through social media, online auctions, and the resurgence of collecting among younger generations, the 1936 D continues to shine as a foundational collectible that bridges historical storytelling, artistic appreciation, and tangible financial value. The 1936 D Buffalo nickel remains a highly desirable coin that encapsulates the historical charm, artistry, and rugged spirit of early 20th century American coinage. Its enduring appeal lies not only in its nostalgic design, but also in the scarcity of well-struck, high-grade survivors, which drives strong market demand. For collectors, it represents a meaningful investment opportunity, an attractive blend of history, art, and financial potential that continues to gain appreciation among numismatists. Whether you are a seasoned collector or new to the hobby, the 1936 D stands as a timeless piece whose value and significance are likely to endure for generations. Next up in the 1940 D Buffalo nickel stands as one of the most coveted coins among United States numismatists, combining historical significance with an enduring aesthetic appeal. Part of the iconic Buffalo nickel series minted from 1913 to 1938, and lingering into transitional years with low mintages, the 1940 D issue carries both rarity and prestige. Collectors are drawn to this coin not only for its association with a beloved series depicting Native American heritage and the American frontier, but also for the scarcity of high-grade specimens from the Denver Mint. Today, it remains highly sought after, commanding attention in coin shows, auctions, and private collections alike. Its combination of historical weight, artistic design, and limited availability has elevated the 1940 D Buffalo nickel to a status beyond mere currency, positioning it as both a collectible and a tangible piece of Americana. Minted in Denver in 1940, the Denver branch produced comparatively fewer Buffalo nickels than its Philadelphia and San Francisco counterparts, which contributes to its rarity. The coin belongs to the final years of the Buffalo Nickel series, a period when the design was nearing its retirement and the U.S. was on the brink of entering World War II. This era imbues the coin with cultural resonance, reflecting both the tail end of the Depression-era economy and a nation's fascination with its frontier history. The coin captures the artistic legacy of sculptor James Earl Fraser, whose design was intended to honor Native Americans and the buffalo as symbols of the American West. Collectors value the 1940 D not only for its scarcity, but also for its connection to a transformative period in U.S. history. The 1940 D Buffalo nickel retains all the artistic hallmarks that make this series so iconic. On the obverse, the profile of a Native American chief is presented in meticulous detail, combining realism with symbolic dignity. The reverse features the American bison, standing on a raised mound, its muscular form conveying both strength and the rugged spirit of the frontier. Struck in a copper-nickel alloy, the coin measures 21.2 millimeters in diameter and weighs 5 grams, standard for the series, but its appeal lies in the intricacy of Fraser's design rather than its material value. Collectors often note that in well-preserved examples, the subtle lines of the buffalo's fur and the facial features of the Native American can remain sharply defined, a key indicator of high-grade coins. The rarity of the 1940 D Buffalo nickel is influenced by both mintage numbers and survivability. With fewer than 5 million coins minted at Denver in 1940, this issue is relatively scarce compared to other dates in the series. However, the true challenge for collectors lies in finding specimens in high-grade condition. Many circulated coins exhibit significant wear, particularly on the high points of the buffalo and the Native American portrait. Coins in uncirculated or near-mint condition are especially prized, and examples graded MS-65 or higher by professional services are exceedingly rare. Collectors also watch for minor die varieties and minting anomalies, which can enhance desirability and market value. The market value of the 1940 D Buffalo nickel is closely tied to condition and rarity. Circulated examples in good condition typically range from $15 to $50, reflecting their collectible appeal without premium scarcity. Coins in higher grades, such as -58 Australian dollars or MS-60, can command $200 to $500, while top-tier uncirculated specimens graded MS-65 or higher have been known to fetch upwards of $2,000 or more at auction. Exceptional coins with sharp details, strong strike, and original luster achieve the highest prices, especially when certified by reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC. The steady appreciation in the value of high-grade Buffalo nickels underscores their appeal as both a collector's item and an investment-grade coin. For collectors seeking the 1940 D Buffalo nickel, careful attention to condition and authenticity is paramount. When acquiring coins, certification from trusted grading companies is highly recommended to verify grade and provenance. Collectors should examine high points, such as the buffalo's shoulder hump and the Native American's cheekbone, to assess wear and detail retention. Proper storage in inert holders or coin albums helps maintain original luster and prevents damage. Engaging with reputable dealers, attending coin shows, and monitoring auction listings are effective strategies for locating rare high-grade examples. Awareness of potential die varieties and minting errors can also add both historical and monetary value to a collection that the 1940 D Buffalo nickel serves as a cultural artifact, capturing the spirit of early 20th century America. James Earl Fraser's design was inspired by real Native American figures and the American bison, symbolizing both resilience and the nation's westward expansion. The coin reflects an era when the United States sought to memorialize its frontier heritage amidst rapid modernization. For collectors, owning a 1940 D Buffalo nickel is not merely about rarity. It is about preserving a tangible piece of American history. Each coin embodies a story of artistry, indigenous representation, and the natural landscape of a bygone era, making it highly appealing to those who value historical context alongside monetary investment. Over the past decade, the market for rare buffalo nickels, including the 1940D, has demonstrated steady appreciation, particularly for high-grade specimens. Investors and collectors alike are drawn to this coin because it offers a combination of liquidity, scarcity, and historical prestige. Coins graded MS 64 and above often attract international bidders at major auctions, reflecting a growing recognition of the buffalo nickel as both a collectible and a stable investment. Trends indicate that coins with sharp strikes, strong luster, and minimal surface marks consistently outperform worn examples, emphasizing the importance of careful selection. The 1940D, with its limited Denver mintage, has emerged as a particularly strategic acquisition for serious numismatists seeking long-term value. The lasting legacy of the 1940D buffalo nickel is rooted in its ability to captivate a wide spectrum of collectors, from first-time enthusiasts to seasoned investors. Its aesthetic qualities, combined with a historically significant mint mark and low survival rate in pristine condition, make it a must-have for those pursuing a complete buffalo nickel collection. The coin's appeal is amplified by the story it tells, a narrative of American identity, artistry, and perseverance preserved in metal. As collectors continue to recognize its historical and financial worth, the 1940D buffalo nickel will likely remain a centerpiece in collections and a benchmark for evaluating the value of other rare nickels. In essence, it is a coin that transcends simple currency, offering both beauty and legacy in a single, tangible artifact. The 1940D buffalo nickel exemplifies the perfect blend of historical importance, artistic beauty, and numismatic rarity. Its limited mintage from the Denver Mint, combined with the enduring appeal of Fraser's design, makes it a highly prized coin for both new and seasoned collectors. Beyond its role as currency, it serves as a tangible connection to America's cultural and historical heritage. With continued interest in vintage coin collecting and a market that rewards condition and rarity, the 1940D buffalo nickel remains not just a collectible, but a potential long-term investment. Its allure lies in its ability to capture history, artistry, and scarcity in a single small coin, making it a standout in any serious collection.